One question, 5 different lives. Are you happy? Usually the answer is short. Yes, no, or maybe just I don't know. But we're looking for the real stories hidden behind those words. Today, we asked 5 strangers at completely different stages of life the simplest, yet hardest question. You're going to feel the gap between the excitement of an 18-year-old and the quiet exhaustion of a 42-year-old. Some will make you smile, others might make you question your own life. None of them are experts, they're just real people living their truths. We start with someone standing right on the edge, where everything feels possible. Let's see how real happiness feels at 18. Meet Leo.
Am I happy? I mean, wow. We're really starting like that? I don't know, honestly. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. High school's over and everyone expects something from me. Like what are you going to do now, or what's your future going to look like, and all that. To be honest, sometimes I'm just incredibly happy when I wake up and realize I don't have a single thing I have to do that day. But is that happiness, or is it just, I don't know, an escape? I'm not sure. The other day I was at the beach with my friends. We just sat there, no one was on their phone, we just listened to the waves. In that moment I was like, okay, everything is fine right now, but then on the way home that empty feeling comes back. Like I'm missing out on something. You look at social media and everyone is somewhere. Everyone has achieved something, and everyone is laughing, and I'm still trying to figure out what I even want to study. I think at my age, happiness is kind of a temporary thing. It's not a permanent state, more like these little sparks. So, yeah, I guess I'm happy overall, but there's always this what's next in the back of my mind. That question keeps me up at night sometimes, But, I mean, I'm good, I think.
The uncertainty of the future is a heavy weight for Leo. But what happens when those dreams finally hit the wall of reality? Here is Maya at 23.
Am I happy? Well, if you asked me this last year, I think I would have given you a totally different answer. Back in college, it felt like everything was just going to work itself out, Like, you graduate and the world just opens its doors, and the life you imagined just starts. But right now, I'm stuck in this 9 to 6 loop. Rent, bills, that constant, am I good enough? Stress. I'll be honest, sometimes I just feel tired. Happiness isn't a big concept for me anymore. I used to have these huge dreams like changing the world. But now, when I get home after work and turn on my favorite show, I just think, okay, I survived today, everything is fine. Is that happiness? Maybe I just learned to lower my standards, I'm not sure. But you know what's funny? I miss that pure freedom I had at 18. Back then, I had nothing, but it felt like I could have everything. Now I have a job, I have an income, but it feels like the magic shrunk. So, yeah, I'm not miserable, really. But those fireworks inside me, they've kind of faded out. I'm just managing. I guess that's the thing about your 20s. Just learning how to stay afloat.
Just staying afloat or aiming for success? To contrast Maya's exhaustion, let's listen to someone who built their entire life around winning. We asked Elena at 28.
Am I happy? Well, if you look at it on paper, then absolutely, yes. My career is exactly where I want it to be. I have my own place. I finally bought the car I've always wanted. My friends look at me and say, Elena has it all figured out. But sometimes I lie in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, and I can't help but ask, is this really it? Happiness has turned into a checklist for me. Do this, buy that, go there. I'm checking all the boxes, but I don't know where that childhood excitement went. Can I be real? I don't even remember the last time I laughed until my stomach hurt. I'm constantly planning the next step. I have to do this before I'm 30. I need a promotion, maybe a serious relationship. I'm always building a future, but where is the now? It feels like I'm decorating a display window, but nobody actually lives inside. I think about my 23-year-old self, like Maya. Back then, I had so much less. But maybe there was more of me. Now there's just a successful version of Elena. I'm happy, yeah, because I have no reason not to be. But is this real happiness or just a well-executed plan? That's where it gets complicated. I think happiness is hidden in those moments when you stop planning. But I just don't know how to stop.
Sometimes having everything can still leave a void, but other times you lose yourself in that void because your whole world revolves around everyone else. Sarah's story at 35 comes from a very different place.
Am I happy? To answer that, I have to decide which me we're talking about. I mean, if you're asking as a mother, then yes, I'm the happiest person in the world. Those two, they're my everything. Sometimes at night, while they're sleeping, I just stand by their beds and listen to them breathe, and I think, okay, this was my mission in life. But if you're asking as Sarah, honestly, I've forgotten where Sarah even is. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I don't recognize the woman looking back. When was the last time I did something just for me? Or even had a full night's sleep? I don't even remember. I'm always catching up with someone's needs. Breakfast, school, homework, laundry. When the day is over and everything goes quiet, I just collapse onto the couch and I feel this huge emptiness. I don't mean that in a bad way, don't get me wrong. I love them. But it's like I stepped out of the lead role in my own life and became a prop in someone else's. Something is missing, yeah. My old passions, the books I used to read, those long talks with friends. It all feels like it belongs to another life. I'm happy, I really am. But sometimes I just miss myself. Being called by my own name, not just Mom. I guess at this age, happiness is trying not to lose yourself inside that big love.
Missing yourself, maybe that's the quietest ache of growing up, but what's left when all the roles are played and the storm finally settles? We close with David at 42.
Am I happy? When I was younger, I used to answer this based on conditions. If I have this, I'm happy. If I go there, I'm happy. But when you hit your 40s, that noise, it kind of dies down. You realize happiness isn't a destination. It's more of a perspective. Look at the marks on these hands. Every one of them is a story. I used to hate these cracks, but now I'm proud of them because they show that I've lived. I'll be honest, I don't have that wild energy from my 20s anymore, and I'm not chasing a career like Elena. I've even moved past that deep exhaustion Sarah feels from giving everything to others. For me, happiness now is the smell of that first coffee in the morning, or the sound a piece of wood makes when you're carving it. Small things, you know? The day I accepted that life isn't perfect, and it never will be, that's the day I became truly happy. Things go wrong, people leave, you get older. Those aren't mistakes in life. That is life. I used to ask, why isn't everything going right? Now I just say, I can breathe today, and that's enough. Happiness, for me, is when you stop fighting with life and start dancing with it. It took me a while to get it, but I'm finally here. And yeah, I'm pretty content with where I am.
I guess we're not really asking the same question after all. At 18, happiness is a search for freedom. At 42, it's just a matter of peace. Some of us lose ourselves in a career, others in the lives of the people we love, but like David said, maybe real happiness only knocks on our door when we finally stop fighting. What about you? What stage of life are you in right now? And how would you answer this today? Let us know in the comments, because your story might be exactly what someone else is looking for. See you in the next question.